What's up, everyone?
So what's up, everyone? Long weekend.
Making
Let's
sure,
get it.
making sure our audio works fine.
Yeah, let us know if I'm
Gotta
muted.
test that
Last
early.
week I was muted early, which was a
Yeah,
little
you see,
unfortunate. But
real quick, folks, we were talking amongst ourselves in that since we're moving, or we have moved the podcast to Sundays now, and for you guys motivation to start the new week, that maybe we would take it a little easier on the drinking since we got to work the next day. But it's a long weekend, baby, so we ain't doing that today.
Only I work tomorrow.
oh, that sucks, bro.
Doesn't really stop me.
Sorry to anybody who has to work, but
Yeah, that's
I don't.
I don't either. So, anyways, hope you guys are enjoying your long weekends. We're doing parenting this week, which is exciting because none of us actually are parents yet.
Yeah, so here's the whole idea is we're going to talk about what we think parenting is going to be like, how we think we're going to handle certain situations. And then we're going to revisit this episode when we all have our first child. And we're going to see how dead wrong or how right we were.
For me, it's when I lose my virginity, but them kids first. So it's a race.
Yeah.
You could be like Mary.
Not much of a race.
Mother Mary was a virgin. She still had a baby, so.
You really think so,
kinda
huh?
hope that.
You fell for it too.
You think God's going to fuck Lukasz?
He already
Come on.
has. Look at him.
Are you saying? That's pretty good.
Not even my joke of the week. I've had.
Shit, don't say anything too funny before I say my joke, or I'm gonna look really bad.
Yeah.
Yo, Matt, let's...
I was actually going to start this. I was going to start where talking about parenting. I'm called daddy, but I'm not parenting.
Oh, it's a perfect joke of the week for this episode.
That would have been a good one.
Matt, I really think we should empty our good cards on the table now to make Lucas's joke look that much worse.
That's it. That's all I got. I'm already done.
That was great.
I'm out of.
You did.
I'm out of funny shit to say.
Joke's on you. What if my joke's a burner joke to like try and make you guys waste everything, and then I give a shitty joke, so I'm like, yo, next time I got nothing in my hand. Yeah.
Doubt it.
Yeah,
Me too. I actually doubt it too.
So actually, too, while we're doing our parenting talk, it'd be interesting to hear a lot of you guys in the chat, if you do have kids, you know, how fucking stupid our ideas might sound.
Yeah. Let us know if we're like realistic in our goals, or if we're full of shit.
Yeah.
Before we jump into comedy of the week, I did have a topic that I think. I definitely want your opinions on.
Yeah.
So I had this conversation with my brother. He's actually the one who brought it up to me. I had this conversation with my wife to be. In your opinion, who do you think is the most successful rapper turned actor?
I didn't even sip anything.
That question caught him so off guard. He wasn't.
Rapper turned actor?
Who do you think is the most successful rapper turned actor? You fill in the blanks as you wish, like what it means to be the most successful by your definition.
Okay, here's a question: Would Will Smith count in that category?
Ooh.
Why not?
Then I think it's no doubt Will Smith.
Lukasz, what's your answer?
I kind of hate that he just did that, because like I don't know anyone who's gonna top that. I still gotta think a little bit, but
Okay, well, while you think, and I'm sure I'm just gonna convince you into my side, I 100% agree with Matt. I don't think there's an argument for anyone other than Will Smith. Yeah. I don't think there is. Like, end of story. No one.
Except
like,
DMX. DMX was Rock the Cradle.
Yeah, like that's it. Like that's it.
No, sorry, Cradle to the Grave.
Cradle to Rock the Cradle. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
But was Will Smith an actor first though?
Nope, he was actually a rapper.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah,
He
him
was.
and Jazzy Jeff.
That's right.
DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
And I agree. That would be the caveat if he was an actor first. Then obviously he's other one.
Now, what about the contrary? The most successful actor gone rapper. I think Drake is the the only one.
Oh.
It's funny because I was gonna say Childish Gambino, but no, you're right. It would be Drake. Yeah. How the hell do you argue that? The guy's freaking murdering it. Okay, now
after he was shot in Degrassi.
Okay, let's take rap out of the situation. Let's just say music. Which artist turned actor is the most successful?
I still think it's Will Smith.
I still think it's Will
rapper?
Smith.
Or
Okay. Who's the runner-up?
I don't know. Like J-Lo?
Oh,
Ooh.
I fuck with that. That's she's
I
she did a
did
few movies.
not think about J-Lo. You're right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Actually, maybe I did think of J-Lo. It depends if you're referring to Jennifer Lopez or are you talking about Jared Leto? Because he's also J-Lo.
Oh, yeah, because he did 30 Seconds to Mars.
Well, that's the band, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think
Yeah.
about... No,
He was in
I'm
30
talking
Seconds
about
to
Jennifer
Mars?
Lopez.
He's
though.
the lead singer of
I
30
did
Seconds
not
to Mars.
know that.
Yeah, and his brother's the guitarist or the drummer, one of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
No, but I think J-Lo is
yeah, let us know what you guys think, because I think there might be some that I'm just not even thinking of.
No, I think we nailed it. I truly think Will Smith is the GOAT of music turned acting.
And Drake, the vice
You
versa.
can't. And Drake, the vice versa. I think those two got it locked down, done.
What about Ja Rule? He was obviously critical when 9/11 happened. Everyone wanted to hear what he had to say, so
Yeah.
he was part of Fire Festival.
Bro, he doesn't count. He doesn't count though, because like that's like he's on a different level. Like it's just not fair. He's punching down.
Yeah,
he's punching
that's
down.
fair,
Like, you
that's fair,
can't.
That's fair. Good point.
That's not fair.
Yeah, he's at a different playing field.
You're comparing LeBron James to middle school basketball players. Like,
Fair.
Yeah.
What is the we got Matt Fan 6969? What is this? The Goatee Pod? Yeah, actually, we're gonna change the name of it.
Oh, yeah. So
do I have a?
No, Lee.
I'm not
Lee
in it,
doesn't
right?
have a goatee.
I have a mustache.
the story behind mine is I fucked up shaving. And I removed a sideburn. I'm like, well, there it goes.
Yeah, you got to just get rid of everything at that point.
Yeah.
Mine was intentional.
Yeah.
I just chose this life.
And we're sorry to hear that.
This is my new summer look.
This is the choice you made. You made a bad one.
I'm full of those. This is my summer look, so get used to it.
All right, let's
get it.
let's jump into it, Lucas. Let's hear your comedy of the week, bud.
All right. Well,
We're gonna talk about how sick of parents we're gonna be. So
we talk a lot about I'm just gonna get right into it. On Instagram now, you can actually put your personal pronouns on there. So, he and him, her and she. I don't know if you guys have seen, but someone had, gone to Michael Jackson's profile and updated his to he.
bro, that's so bad.
It's funny because it's not even a joke. Like, it happened.
Yeah.
This is news. You just gave us news.
That's so
I thought that's all
bad.
you wanted, a news report.
That's. I thought I had bad jokes of the week.
Oh, you do.
Oh, well, I just thought I did.
I'm trying to get on
I
your
guess I
level.
did. Yeah, that's
You guys didn't appreciate that.
Yeah, Mini Mac 96, boo, like exclamation, like caps locks on, locked in, boo, with like 17 O's
boo,
too.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
Love
Matt
O's.
Fan 6969, that joke was horrible. So.
Yeah, go ahead and take your double shot, Lucas.
I forgot that there was punishment.
And enjoy work in the morning.
Yeah.
Yo, that makes comedy of the week that much more devastating. If you fuck up
Yeah,
and
on
you gotta go
Sundays?
to work, yeah, that's
Better come with the heat, baby.
fucking it's for real now. I'm gonna bust a gut.
Busting up, baby. In the gut.
Yo. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, speaking of which, that's how babies are made. That's how babies are made.
Busting up in the gut, kids. Boom. That's basically what did they call that class in elementary school? We used to call it Fully Alive. That was like our textbook.
Fully Alive was
You
the
remember
book, but
Yeah, and it was called.
Oh, in elementary. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Fully Alive
Fully Alive.
was also a book from there, I guess.
Isn't that what we just said?
I don't know what the class is. Wait, sorry, is it?
I said the book was, or some part of the class was Fully Alive.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why I repeated it twice. The shot obviously hit me already, so.
Yeah, busting nut in the gut, kids. Boom.
What
We're
do you
parents
do?
now. Where do we start with this? Names?
Names. Sure.
Let's go boy, and girl.
So you guys
Boy
each.
and girl.
What's your top?
Your number one boy and girl.
Okay.
Number one boy named Dexter for me.
It's a good one.
All right.
It is
so
a good one.
Everyone give their
I think
boy
Dex
name
is a
then.
dope ass nickname.
Lee, what you got?
Now, sorry. Well, okay, hold on. I was gonna ask him.
Let's go, Lee.
And Dexter, where are you getting Dexter from? Please, where are you getting Dexter from?
Names with X's in them are cool. And
Sick.
Dexter, I just like. I don't know. I just like it, and I think Dex as a nickname is a pretty cool ass nickname to have.
Yeah,
and
I think
Samsung also calls their casting thing Dex. That's just after
that's
the
a
fact.
check mark in the negative column. That's a check mark in the cons. Look, Samsung. What the fuck? No Dexter's Laboratory. That doesn't play a role in this. At all?
No, nor the
Damn.
serial killer.
If we go to female names and he says Dee Dee though, he's full
Yeah,
of
right?
shit.
No, it's
amazing.
Dexter. Dexter's for both.
Or Mandark.
Dexter's a good one though. I agree. I think Dexter's
Dexter's cool.
super sick.
And it's not
unique.
common. Like it's not I don't think it's a very common name. I'm big on
No, absolutely
uncommon
not.
names.
Yeah. Boy name for me, it's either Tyson or Lennox.
Lennox is sick as fuck.
All right, Lennox is a good
Actually, I'm changing mine. Lennox is mine now. That's my favorite boy name.
one. You know, the only reason I'd hesitate on Lennox,
It sounds like
And
Lennox.
no,
Like Systems Linux? Oh, okay.
Lennox is sick, and by no means do I have anything against the kid, but one of my coworkers, his son is named Lennox, and I have nothing against his kid, but he's an idiot, so
Is he
That's-
watching the pod?
I hope so. I'll tell him straight to his face. I tell him straight to his face all the time. That's
Perfect.
nothing new. That's nothing new.
Yeah, Lennox. I fuck with that. That's actually a cool. one.
Lennox is sick, right? Lennox or Tyson, for sure. Lucas.
Have you talked about
sorry.
this with the wife to be about
Yes.
your preference names?
She agrees with them. Yep. She
Oh,
thinks
that's
those
cool.
Are,
Sweet.
yeah, she
okay.
thinks they're badass
That's
names.
Good. That's good.
Wait,
Lucas.
Can I guess for Lucas?
Lucas.
Something like Pop Check or something like that.
Mini pierogi.
Mini bro.
Instead of calling him Junior, we just call him Mini.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Now what you got?
Yo, honestly, like I couldn't really, I've never really put that much thought into it. Because this wasn't a preemptive question that we had, by the way. This is just kind of came out of nowhere.
I literally said it.
It
I
was
said
literally in the
names.
chat on like
Yeah,
Tuesday.
but the thing is, if you don't read the chat, it's new to me, right? So,
Fair. That's
I don't know. I would say a name that I don't like that
Excuse me.
I think is unique, and I
Can you
don't
think of one at the top of your head that
Theo?
you like?
like Theo. Oh.
Theo's
Feels
cool.
alright.
I like
Yeah.
Theo.
Yeah, I like Theo.
Leo and Theo. I know a Leo. He was a pretty cool guy, but I think I'm more on the side of Theo, just because Leonard is not appealing. Where Theodore, on the other side, like the longer version, like don't mind it.
Why
Like,
It's
does he
cute. I
have
think
to
it's
have a
cute.
longer?
He doesn't-
version?
he does not. Well,
he could just be Theo, right?
okay, Matty,
That's actually my real name.
Walter.
I think a little kid named Theodore is adorable. I love
Yeah,
him.
that's he's gotta have glasses though.
Has to.
Says Dexter. Yo, Dexter better be having a laboratory as well. So
He will.
Or killing people. You pick.
yeah.
Okay.
Female names. Girl name. Oh, sorry. Or non-binary names as well. We should do a third one for that.
No, we shouldn't.
Fair enough.
Wait, you didn't want Mongoloid?
Mongoloid.
Mongolian.
No, my kid's not Mongolian. My kid's not Mongolian.
There aren't many that I'm super set on, but I like to think about. I like the Greek.
Yo, this guy's about to take my name. Let me go
yeah,
first.
I like very out there names. Like I think Artemis would be a sick ass name.
Ooh,
cool.
for a girl, yeah. Artemis that's actually sick.
Uh,
I like that.
Sorry, to go back to a guy like Apollo, I think that's a dope ass name.
that's
I
not,
would spell
that's
it.
not bad.
I
Yo!
would spell it like Apaul.
No, don't fuck it up. You had it good.
I'm kidding. I wouldn't
Actually,
do
yeah,
that.
no.
Kidding me?
I was gonna say something, but we'll save it for a little bit later. Go on.
Yeah. I think Artemis is actually kind of a dope ass name.
Artemis is a sick name for a girl. Sick name.
But then I also I think I could also go for Jasmine.
Yeah.
I think Jasmine's alright. With two
It's not a bad
Z's
name.
though. With
No,
two
not a bad
Zs.
name at all.
Zero Z's, please. So there should be zero Z's in that name.
No, I
Just
like
nice-
funky spelling. I like funky spelling.
Yeah.
I think that's
Jazz. And she's obviously gonna be a jazz player, so it's
cool. Put the
it's
pressure on her,
instilled. Yeah, we'll talk
Yeah.
about that later, but yeah. Those are two, Artemis or Jasmine.
man. Well, Artemis for sure
What about you, Lee?
is my vote for you. For me, my daughter will be named either Morgan. I really like Morgan for a girl, or Florence.
Did Morgan come from
Obviously.
Freeman?
Duh. No.
Your
Yeah,
favorite
dude.
actor?
No.
Florence
about-
is
sorry,
Florence from the Machine?
100%. Hell yeah, baby, from Florence the Machine. My daughter's name is Florence, no doubt.
You bring up. I like that you bring up Morgan because Morgan's obviously a name that can be used both for a girl or a boy. So my sister has been talking about Logan as a cool name
For
both
like, either.
for a girl specifically.
Yeah, I
like
love
one,
that.
like-
I love
Yeah, Logan for a girl.
names that sound like, because yes, that could work both ways, but names that sound more masculine for a girl, I love it. Like Logan, Morgan, Jordan.
Dude.
Like I love all.
And let me tell you, Lee once got interviewed by a guy named Courtney.
I did.
Yeah, which is great.
One of my
Really?
reps, yeah.
Excuse me, that's interesting. Courtney for a male.
Yeah. Yeah,
Never
I know
heard that.
several Courtneys actually.
We even know male Taylor.
That Taylor's more common.
Taylor's very common for guys.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I've probably first time in this
I'd be
company.
like, it'd be interesting to hear like a chick that was like a Brad or a
That's
Chad.
I actually knew a guy Ashley, sorry.
Ash.
Yeah.
That's
Ash
interesting.
for short.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Is that Ash Ketchum's real name?
Ashley Ketchum?
Is he Ashley Ketchup? Is he Ashley Ketchup?
No, it's Ashley Ketchumal. Full name.
That works too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Lucas. What about you? Girl name?
I'm the same way with Matty. I love Greek mythology and all that good stuff. Athena. Athena is like my go-to
Oh, Athena's pretty sick. I
female
fuck with
name.
Athena. I think
I'm
that.
not trying. I feel like that's too expected.
Really? Because
Wow.
I don't think so. I personally never met an Athena. I like.
No,
the
me
name.
neither. But I feel like it's
What about like Aphrodite?
no.
That's intense.
No. Athena sounds like it's too main character to me.
Well, and for guy, it was
What's
gonna
wrong
be
with that?
Zeus or
You can be the main
Poseidon.
It's like me naming my son Jon Snow. It's like ugh. Bleh.
That's
What?
sick.
You're gonna give him two? You're gonna give him two names? That's sick. Yeah.
What
but-
about Daenerys?
Exactly, shit like that.
Daenerys is a pretty. I just spilled
No, it's
all of
way
the
too main
ice-
charter. It's way too main
just
character. It's
spilled
way too.
Really?
all of the ice on the floor.
Because my
of
my second male name was either Zeus or Poseidon. So that's it.
Oh man, there's ice all over the
Trash.
floor in my room.
What
Is he
happened?
gonna
What's
fake
happened
it?
to
Is it gonna
Matt?
be all right?
Ah. No, the ice. I had a little container of ice for my drinks, and it literally just spilled all over the floor.
Just kick it under the fridge.
Yeah, my mini fridge.
Yeah.
Under the bed. What are you saying?
Sorry about that. I got sidetracked. Yeah, I think Daenerys though is kind of a sick name.
I don't like it.
Did I ever tell you that I had my first manager at the first job I ever had? He had a son and named him Tiberius, and I was like, "That's an aggressive, assertive name."
Tiberius is a sick name.
It is. It's very assertive though.
Star Trek. But
He was just
still.
born,
He's not main character.
and he felt like he was my manager.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, Tiberius. He's the fucking king of that region.
Okay, yeah, those are some pretty sick names. I put those. So we'll see. We'll see when we all have kids if any of the names that we've discussed here are actually used.
Yeah. Okay, so would you take? Sorry, you were
No,
gonna
go.
say something, Matt.
No, I'm good.
Okay,
Just
so
clean up at the same time.
fast forward, we've all had our first child. You taking paternity leave?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would take some time off.
Yeah.
How
Okay,
much?
sorry.
No, like the full thing.
Like proper paternity leave. Yeah, like 6 months to a year. Just so you know, just so you're aware, whatever paternity leave you take takes away from the
Yeah,
maternity leave.
exactly. So
For
I
anyone
would
who didn't
say
know that.
I would say presently no. Sorry, just because with the way the world is in remote working, because presently I do work remotely, I don't think that would be a problem. I think I could balance both, which
Yeah.
is kind of a blessing in disguise now. You know that the world has gone to this and shown how many roles can actually still be done remotely.
Okay, so let's say the world is not as it is, and you can't work remotely.
No, but I can because like I do right now. So
Okay, well, let's say you can't. Let's say you
Although
gotta go back
I'm
to
telling
work.
you, I literally can.
You can't. No, you can't even do it.
Oh, shit, you're right. No, if I couldn't, no, I don't think I'd take the whole time. I would let. It's probably something I'd have to talk to with my partner at the time to see, like, do you want the time? More so, and it depends on their scenario. Like, yeah, I'd like to be home, obviously, with the baby and such, but yeah, that's tough.
See, for me, how I see it, it's like I also take into account that maternity leave has to do a lot with like their body recovering
Yeah,
from going
100%.
under all that stress.
100%.
So I would definitely have to be like, yo, if you need this time, you take the entire thing. Like, but I'm offering if you want me to take a month where I take care of the kid and you go back to work, if that's what you want. I'm down for it, but ultimately I do think it's more up to them because I don't know how it's like for them. I don't know how the recovery's like. They could be exhausted the entire time. I'm like, yo, like you just went through like I didn't do it. You basically I almost feel like they did all the work there in terms of carrying the baby and stuff like that. So like I will be as supportive as possible to like like get you back to where you're comfortable going back to work. And if that requires me taking zero leave, it is what it is. But I do think it would also be important for me to experience the same thing so I understand all the responsibilities that are encompassed there. Because if I'm at work, I don't see all the behind the scenes. And having just a day here and there, you don't get to fully immersify yourself into it. Where like having like a nice chunk of being like, okay, like this is what they have to do. Holy shit, that's rough. You start to appreciate what they do more. It's almost like when you leave your house and you're born with a silver spoon, you start appreciating all the chores that are done for you.
I think you'd still get a grasp of it because if you're at work 8 hours, okay, assuming you're not working overtime, you don't have a crappy job or anything. Assuming you're working on average the 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, I feel like every other moment when you're at home, you will still get a grasp of that. And who knows, maybe this is one of those things that I'll be wrong about when we actually go through this journey. But I feel like coming home from work, again, if you're not working the night shift, you actually get to do the baby night shift. And weekend and stuff, I feel like you'll still get a grasp of just how difficult it is. That's just my take on it.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think I that's interesting because it's a I think and too like especially depending on the age, like right away, yeah, like I feel like they're sleeping quite a bit of the day. It's more when they're in that like 1 to 2 years old phase, I think, is where it's the toughest because they're just
really
so much more to handle because they can run like. They can run around and do their own thing. It's not like they're just fucking there.
They're not stationary. They're no longer stationary where you leave them. It's like, oh shit, they're gone.
Yeah.
See, it's funny you say that because I see your point, and this is actually something that my sister-in-law and a group of us were talking about the other day. Is that a lot of people say like the first 6 months is the hardest part, and then after that everything just gets easier. And she was like, what? Like this? Like if this is the hard part, it wasn't that bad. And I agree. Like when they're toddlers and like, because right now let's say you have a 6-month-old baby, you put it in the crib. That it's in the crib, like it's done.
Yeah,
it's not going anywhere.
Yeah,
like I know where it is all the time. Whereas, like a toddler could wake up and go and
running around,
gotta fucking find this thing.
And
I see your point.
And that will test your patience too, because that's when they're in the learning phases, asking you question after question. Like you're gonna have to expect that same question 100 times a day, because like they're trying to learn, and if you just shut that down, can almost like discourage them from learning. You have to be cautious of the way you handle that kind of stuff.
But also not getting a full night's sleep for
the rest of your life,
4 to 6 months. Well, 4 to 6 months is when you really don't get your sleep.
No, I think some of the parents that I talk to now, like young parents that are like around our age with their kids, they're like, yeah, I might sleep. They might go to bed late, but they're up every day at like 7 a.m. On Saturdays, so they get to sleep until like 8.
Yeah, but that's perfect. But like when we're talking about like anywhere from a newborn to 6 months, they're up every 2 hours. Every 2 hours they're awake and they like need a bottle or something. So imagine like that's the maximum amount. Like if you literally feed the baby, they fall asleep, and you put them down, go immediately pass out, and you get only 2 hours. I guess that's what it boils down to is the mental patience just patience in general, or the mental capacity you have to deal with a toddler asking you the same question 1,000 times and them just having 10 times the energy that you do, or I just don't ever get to sleep, and that's frustrating enough. I don't know what I think is going to be more difficult. I personally think the 0 to 6 months is where I'm going to have the hardest time. We'll see what future.
So we'll come back.
We'll see what I have to say about that later.
Maybe we'll have to. Yeah, we'll have to. Hopefully, they'll have kids around the same time because that'd be they'll be causing a ruckus junior, and they'll have their own podcast.
Just to quickly kind of jump.
They might have their own hologram or something at that time. Who knows?
Yeah, that's true.
It might be better than a podcast.
That's true.
To quickly jump back, because we're talking about names, Matty, like for example, you and your sister both don't go by your given names. Is that something that would bother you if your kid, for example, in the future we're like, hey, like you gave me Dexter, I don't like that name. I
No,
want to
okay,
go.
that's
And
not- okay.
I'm not saying that's the reason why you guys don't go by your names, but I'm saying if would that ever come to you,
So-
be like, damn.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, for those of you that don't know, my first name legally is actually Walter. Just from a saying my name in sequence, it flows better that way. So legally, I'm Walter, but like my parents and everyone called me Matthew or Matt, growing up.
Mhm.
So, yeah, that and that's different because Kel, I'm not gonna say her name. She'd probably kill me if I put this out in the world for the world to know. Her first name is not actually Kel or Kelly. It's Kel's part of it, so she just hates her name. But everyone that she talks to, they're like, your name is so beautiful. Like, why don't you like it? That's like the most common response I hear. But yeah, that's a good point. Like, if my son's name was Dexter and he's like, yeah, I want to be called like,
Let's say he had a
yo, what
middle
if his name? Yeah, okay, what about this name? Yo, Dexter Apollo. Apollo is like one of his middle names.
Too much. That's too much. That's too
much.
much.
You're trying too hard. You're trying too hard.
Your kid's a fucking transformer at that point. That's too
What's
much.
wrong with that? What's wrong with
He's
that?
gonna have 2 girlfriends. It's gonna be dangerous out there, or 2 boyfriends.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know how he's gonna be like.
Yeah, that's fair.
One of
That's
each.
fair.
One of each. You never know. Fucking man's killing it out there. Just killing it.
Non-binary for sure.
Yeah, I mean,
That's not what.
I don't think I'd care
Is
too
that
much.
how it
I think
works?
I would still call them Dexter, unless they were like literally don't call me that. I'm like, okay.
Okay, but the other thing is that at what point do they say, like, for example, if they turn 18 and they're like, fuck it, I want to be called something else, and I've been calling my son, let's say, Lennox for 18 years of his life, I'd be like, okay, do what you want, but like, don't shit on me if I call you Lennox. I've been doing it for 18 years. Your name's still fucking Lennox.
So it's
to me.
interesting. I did that to my dad. So I was maybe like 10 years ago. I was like, listen, just so you know, Dad, for now I'm gonna call you Pops. I was like, how do you feel about that? He's like, I don't know, I don't really like it. I was like, sounds good, Pops. And like from then, it's like, and that's the thing. But he was called one thing his whole life, and now all of a sudden it's something else.
Well, see, that's different though, because you're making the choice to call someone else something. But if you went to your dad and said, "Nah, Dad, you're calling me Pops," he's probably be like,
You're
I don't
calling me
feel it.
dad.
Like when you demand that
Dad,
someone
it's Dad.
when you demand that someone else calls you something, and it's not by their choice, it's gonna be really hard. It might support you in it, but it's really hard to change my new habits, or sorry, my old habits, into whatever you want to be called now. Tiberius
Sure.
Sick ass name.
is good.
Yeah,
I
that's a
love
good
it.
point.
I love it.
That was a good question. Because I don't know. I never actually really thought about that. I just thought that they would like it because I liked it. You know what I mean?
Well, for me, as the example of your sister's name, like if you named your kid Dexter and he's like, nah, I don't really like the Dex part. I don't like the X. I don't like the X. Call me Tur. Duh. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you have to own that.
That's
now.
like, yeah. If he went up and was like, "Yo, don't call me Dexter ever, just call me Dex," I'm like, "All right, man, I got you."
Okay. So going back to when they do it, let's say at age 10, they say, "I don't want to be called Dexter anymore. I want to be called Joshua." What do you say as a parent?
I'd be like, "Dexter, that's fucking ridiculous."
Right? Because he's young. Okay, now
Shut
8.
the fuck up. You ever come to me with shit like that again?
Fucking. So
Sure, chop him.
Actually,
right, just
Right in his neck.
poking up right on the head. Oh, his neck. Fuck.
like,
God damn. God damn.
That time. That time. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to
Instant
that.
care. Yeah, we will. Okay, so you think it would change if they were younger versus if they were
Yeah,
18 plus? Yeah, because they're a little more capable to make those decisions.
Sure. Yeah.
I just find it a little odd that a grown-ass adult would want to change their name. Like, you made it this far. Like, your
What
name.
if they had a stupid name?
Like, how stupid is it got to be?
Don't say my name.
Yes.
Anyway. I was waiting. I was like, here we go.
This guy knew. He already knew.
Do you know how many times?
That was not even like that was not even.
That was
planned.
The best part is, there's been people who are like, oh, let me have a stupid ass name like Lukasz, and like my best comeback's like, that's not even my fucking name, bro. It's Lukasz.
That's better. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it depends how much they didn't like it, but like I'm trying to think of when Kel, how old she was when she was just like, I don't like my name. Can you just call me Kel instead? Like,
Oh, that's fair, because I guess that is her case, right?
mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Yeah, I'd like.
I'll have to find out. I'll talk about it next stream.
We'll have her as a guest.
Find out right now. Yeah.
Well, let's not go that far.
Yeah.
No,
I agree.
just-
I was hoping everyone would just move on from that.
You
from me
fucking
saying that.
suck.
yeah. So we can't. Is it too early to get onto what we were just kind of tiptoeing into? Or you want to save it for the second half?
No, let's do it. Let's do it. I say let's get into it now.
Yeah,
Okay. Would you ever hit your kids?
Oh, discipline.
I'd maybe spank them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
It depends. I don't think, like, that's tough. That's tough. I would give them every chance that I wouldn't have to do it if they tested me to, like, I would do the whole, you want to go to timeout? No, it's timeout. If you don't do this, we're going to timeout. Okay, I'll count to 3. 1, 2, 3. You're still not listening. But I would count. So, a friend of mine right now, with their son, their countdown's very fast. They're like, I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. It's like, you didn't even give him a chance. You didn't give him a chance.
Because like,
He has no time to think about it.
yeah, but I hate that 1, 2, 2 3/4. Like, it's not serious.
Yeah, you gotta
like-
commit. You gotta
Okay,
commit.
it's not that fast. It's more like I'm gonna count to 3. 1, 2, 3. But it's like the kid's like 2.5, 3 years old. Like, gotta give him some time to count. You know what I mean? Like, he can't even count to that high on his own. So you know what I mean? Like,
He's like,
What's next? What's next? What's that? Oh, 3 already? What the fuck? I didn't even know what was next.
But that's where it's like, I don't think I'd like to, but if it get like, I would try everything before, like, using that as an alternative.
Give me a specific example when you'd hit your kid. When you think it's justified to hit your kid. What did they do that warrants physical discipline?
See, when you say I'm gonna hit my kid, it just makes it sound like much worse than I think it actually is. It's not like I'm like.
What would you like to?
well, I mean, you're
kick the
hurting
shit out of your kid.
You hitting anyone, striking anyone physically to me is
That's a hit.
just
I
as
think
wrong. Yeah,
I think it's fair. But is there a term we'd prefer to use?
discipline, like physical discipline, spank.
Spank you.
I think that most scenarios it is a spank. It's not. How
What's
else
the
are you
difference?
hitting your kid?
So what would you
how
call-
else are you really hitting your
But,
kid?
but
What
what
difference
does
do you put?
spank entail? Like some parents slap the kids, some parents use the belt, some parents use a paddle, some parents use a stick, some parents use a slipper.
But
Like
isn't
where's
it
our
typically
threshold
all
for
is the
spank?
Same, isn't it done in the same area? Like, I don't. What's the whole purpose of it specifically being like the butt? Like, where does that?
I don't
stem
know that
from?
this is true, but I feel like the
'Cause
butt
it's
is
funny?
the least harmful area. There's a lot of fatty tissue.
That's true.
There's
It's
really
you're gonna fucking spank them right in
there's
the
no
face.
harm. There's no exactly.
What
There's
if I have
no
zero?
real-
What if I have zero
is my
booty?
guess.
And I do no squats as a kid, zero booty. No.
That's why they're hitting you. That's exactly why your parents are hitting you. You ain't got no
squat,
ass.
baby, squat.
Baby girl ain't got no ass.
Yeah,
What?
that's a good point. Yeah, that's. I assume that's probably why that's
That's my
the
guess.
case.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were the other terms? Spank.
Yeah, physical discipline. I believe it's. Wait, is it corporal punishment? Is that it? When you can hit a kid? Corporal, not capital. Not capital punishment. Corporal punishment.
Isn't
Capital
that-
punishment's killing people.
1, 2,
Okay.
3. That's it, baby. Night night.
In the chair. In the chair.
I don't know. I just think it's if they're trying defiance past where, like, again, I think I would be in a scenario where I would offer every other alternative.
So you'd completely exhaust your resources before you
Yeah.
before you
Like,
touch
listen,
your kid.
Okay. Don't say
Sorry,
like that.
no, that's not what I mean. Sorry, that's not what I mean. That's not,
This is on video, bro. If I said yes, people
Alright,
could interpret
that's,
that.
that's not what I meant. It's not what I meant.
That's fucking crazy. This guy had to set me up. Holy shit.
Well, what do you say? Yeah.
What was that show with that guy? Remember that? There was like
Chris
a TV
Hansen?
show that. Yeah, Chris. I tried to pull Chris Hansen on me. That was fun.
Oh.
Yeah. I would exhaust every option before I had to spank my kid.
But you'd be open to it.
Yeah.
Lucas?
And maybe because that was my upbringing. That maybe
Sure.
that could be why.
Okay, well, I do want to circle back to that. Lucas?
I used to be in the mindset of yes, I think I've changed that in the past few years. The reason being is because I grew up on it, and I felt like it made me more distilled into fearing my parents than respecting is one, and two, it made me not as open in terms of communication because I was scared that I would get punished physically. Like rather than getting scolded or lectured, I'd be like, I don't want to bring up what I just did because it's bad, and my parents are gonna literally. And the thing is, my parents are Eastern European, so it wasn't just a spanking. It was a frying pan. It was a belt. It was a belt buckle.
They fried you, bro?
It was like, yeah, like it was brutal. Like to a point where I'm pretty sure I've been knocked out before as a kid. I'm sorry for putting this out there into the
Bro.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's a
but,
little
like-
intense. I don't know if I'd go to that level.
but
with
the
my
thing
kids.
is-
Careful what you're saying there, bro.
Yeah, no, but like I'm personally used to because I used to be like, well, I definitely am very respectful in my household due to those things, but I think it more distilled fear rather than respect. Where I feel like you can
Instilled.
distilled. I like beer and
didn't distill any fear. Yeah.
and I think now there's definitely always going to be ways to work with your words and build a sense of respect, mutuality. Like listen, like unconditional love. Make sure it's a constant knowing factor so that people aren't scared. I think it's just way better. I think that it goes in all aspects, not even just raising kids, but even just in the workplace. Like if people being feared.
Spanking in the workplace?
No, like fear rather than respect is a completely different thing, right? So I think that's where I come from. Is like I used to think that way, but I would have to see where I'm at. Like I've never had my limit pushed, where I've legit been like, "Yo, I'm gonna fight this person right now." I don't think I've ever actually gone to an altercation with someone just due to me being like, "Oh, I'm done with this." It's usually been like someone coming at me, and I'm being like, because I'm joking and you can't handle it. Like that's, I would call them pathetic. So it would be hypocritical of me to kind of reflect that back onto someone else. So
I think age though is an important factor that we didn't talk about. Like,
Yes.
to what like I'm not gonna be spanking like my 12-year-old. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, you're gonna wait till they're 18.
by that point,
Okay,
I
so
think it's like
so then what do you do? So let's say you're 12.
I think you only need to do physical discipline up until an age where you could have more of an intellectual conversation.
Sure. Now let's. I agree with you. Not really, but we'll get into that. Okay, so let's say the criteria is the exact same for when you would use physical discipline on. I'm assuming you'd use physical discipline on, let's say, a 6-year-old.
I'm trying to think of like anyone I know that's a 6-year-old, so I can understand like a little younger than Sky.
How
no,
old- yeah, I was
see,
gonna say, how old's your
no,
sister?
no, Sky. Sky's turning 8 this year, so no, I think maybe even younger because I think I wouldn't have to ever go that far. Like I'm trying to think about like, but again, it's different because Sky doesn't ever test me like that,
Right.
like the same way that she might like test the same way like my dad or something.
Okay, then. Okay, let's just you fill in the blanks wherever. Let's say whatever age where you
Yeah,
would
maybe
use physical
like
discipline.
5 would be
Is the
probably
max,
the
ideally?
oldest. Yeah.
Okay, so then now
5.
let's say your 12-year-old is doing the exact same stuff that the 5-year-old would do, and you got to the exact same point where you've run out of all your resources and they're still being a little prick. Do you?
I don't know. No, because I think at 12 years old I can have enough of an intellectual conversation that it'd be like I wouldn't have to get to, because I'd be like, you know what, I'm going to take away everything that you like to do then, so you can understand.
But also at 12 years old, when you do that, I feel like that might be effective when they're younger. But at 12-year-olds, when you do that, it builds resentment and rebellion, and them being like, "Oh, he wants to take my fucking phone. Well, watch what I'm going to do." Like they start to kind of,
I don't know.
Like they feel invincible. No.
No, I don't know. In my experience, like that was kind of how my dad took things. Was at a certain point he used to just take things away that I liked. He used to like take my okay, so let's say I had an Xbox. This guy wouldn't take my Xbox. This guy would take my power cord specifically. Like he would leave me with the Xbox. This guy would like take the power cords. I couldn't fucking do anything with it, which is more of like a taunt because it's like it's there, but it's like I can't even use it. But like I had no resentment. I don't know if he knows this, so if he ever sees this, it's actually gonna be hilarious. But
You bought an
he actually did that kind of shit up until I was like 16 or 18, like up until way later than that. But yeah, one time he like took the power cord to my Xbox, so I went and fucking bought another one.
Yeah.
Like a whole nother Xbox.
What? You didn't just buy a new power cord?
No, dude, this was like back, like Amazon wasn't like a thing back then.
You can still go to Best Buy?
No.
You still get a new power cord. What are you
Yeah, I
doing?
bought a whole another one, bro. So I had like at one point I had like 4 Xboxes.
This
Like
guy's
one of my
fucking
mom's, one of my dad's,
ballin'.
2 of my dad's because my dad does the power cord to one. And then I used to always
That's
say,
nuts.
yeah, this is actually so funny that this is coming out. But I used to always say, oh, Alex let me borrow his.
Oh, so then he wouldn't take away Alex's. Oh, you snake! That's funny.
Yo, Mike, I hope you fucking see this shit. Your son.
Yo, take away his power cord.
You should have hit him.
No, as soon as he
Should've
sees
fucking
this,
hit him.
he's gonna
You
take your
should've
power
fucking hit
cord,
him.
dude. No podcast for you.
He's not too old to get hit now. Spank him.
Yo, just
I'm joking.
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
I'm
So
joking.
that's where like I think, and maybe this is just my upbringing and me, carrying that on. But it would be taking away the things that they like to do. See, now my kids, so they're gonna think they're smarter than me, yo, because I was like, yo, I used to
Because they
try this
probably
shit
will
too.
be.
Are you kidding?
Your kid needs an
Maybe.
IQ of 10 to be smarter. Like it's
Yeah. Oh, that's
fine.
fair. That's a good point. Good point. But yeah, so that was what my dad used to. So maybe that's why this is the route that I would take from a disciplinary action.
Okay, now
How about you,
I'm
Lee?
curious. Yeah, no, my standpoint is right now. I feel like I will never put my hands on my kid. Sorry, that's
Not
not
even
true.
for a hug?
I might grab them to
No
like pull
hug?
them out of the way or something. Like people use like exactly like a hug, sure. But like as far as physical discipline goes, I don't think I would ever do it. I would never hit my kid, spank my kid, whatever word you want to use. With my upbringing, like yeah, I got spanked or licks as the Caribbean people would call it. And I remember at a young age, literally, like I forget how young I must have been the first time I ever got hit for as a disciplinary thing. Maybe let's use 5 just for the sake of the argument. I literally remember thinking like, that wasn't beneficial to anyone. Like, yeah, it sucked. I don't want that to happen again. But I remember at such a young age, I was like, that's not the way we should do this. Like,
Did you say that while you're getting spanked? You look back like, this is
Are you
not
kidding
the way
me?
we should do this.
bro, I'd be dead. I'd
Yo,
be
you look back at
fucking
your mom.
dead.
This is inefficient.
Who's learning from this?
You need
Who's
better
really-
torque. You need to put your weight
Hold
into
it, no,
it.
mom. Hold
Go
it
get the
like
wooden
this.
spoon.
Hold
Go
it
get the
like
wooden
this.
My grandma used to.
No.
My grandma on my mom's side had wooden spoon involved. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
did not
yeah,
want to
yeah.
get spanked with that.
I'm very glad I didn't have to go through this, but my siblings told me that when they were growing up, what my mom would do, and I think this is brilliant. This is brilliant psychological warfare. Is she would say, "Go find me something to beat you with," and then you're stuck thinking like, "Well, what the fuck do I get? Like, if I get a
What do you wanna
pillow,
get hit with?
if I get a pillow, she's gonna stifle me, and she's probably gonna beat the shit out of me because I picked such a. You gotta pick something in between. You don't want to pick something that's gonna kill you. You don't want to pick something too light because she'll kick your ass. So it's like you're now stuck with what the fuck do I pick? And I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, I think that's a great learning exercise because you're challenging your children to make very difficult choices early. I think that's a great no, seriously, that's a great exercise because it's
Yeah.
like you have
Well,
to make them.
if you don't follow through with the hitting,
options.
sure.
Yo, yo.
You gotta weigh no. If you do, you gotta follow through.
Yo, what you gotta do? Yo, you got
this.
yo, beat her at her own game. Give her a kitchen knife and be like,
And she takes the handle and fucking clubs you in the head with it. No, thank you.
pistol whip.
Or she stabs you.
You give
Or
her,
she stabs you.
you give her
straight
a
up.
gun. She just
No,
pistol
because
whips
it's
you.
like no, because I think that instills of the essence of having to deal with the consequences of your
Sure.
choices.
Sure.
And
And maybe really calculating your choice because you're like, oh, you took a pillow. You thought you weren't gonna get a beating with a pillow? Oh boy!
Look
Let
at
me
this.
show you.
Watch
You've never
this.
had sock and boppers before.
Puts the pillow on her hand and just holds it up to your face and just starts fucking peppering that shit.
Speedball. What do you mean?
You're so good. No, but what I wanted to ask you, Matt, is okay. So you said at an age where your child can have an intellectual conversation, you don't think it's necessary to hit them because you think you can get through to them before needing it.
Mhm.
Now you said when they're younger, you're gonna exhaust all your resources before you resort to physical violence. What do you? Okay, so then when you get to physical violence, what's the
I don't
end
like the
game?
word violence. It
Okay,
sounds
okay,
way
okay, sorry,
worse
sorry.
than it's gonna be.
Okay, physical
warfare. Physical warfare.
What do we like? Physical discipline?
Yeah,
Warfare.
it's-
I like
Okay,
warfare.
okay. So you get to the point of using physical discipline on a younger person. What's the end game? Like, what's the goal of that? Because you've acknowledged that you've gotten past the point of reasoning.
Because I'm trying to. I guess.
What are
I'm
you
trying
teaching?
to
What are you
get them-
teaching there?
I'm trying to get them to respect the choices that are offered. I guess.
Interesting. So
I'm saying these are
basically
your
you're saying like,
options.
I used my words.
Yeah, you don't want to listen
I
to
tried
that.
all this, and you don't want that. Now I'm gonna hit you. Well, sorry. Use physical discipline.
Yeah, it's just
Interesting.
like I'm
Interesting.
trying to work with you here, you little 3-year-old, and you're not listening to me. So I'm going to show you that I'm not really giving. Here's the thing: it's all about the illusion of choice, where it's like I already know what like. It's like you want to go to bed or no? No, you don't want to get. I'm not really asking. I'm telling you it's bedtime, so we're going to bed. No, I don't want to go to bed. Okay, well it's bedtime, so we're gonna count to 3, and if you know. We're gonna go upstairs at 3. No, I don't want to go upstairs. I'm like, all right, 1. Then they start like, no, I don't want to go to bed. They start like panicking because the countdown. And that's the thing too, is it may only ever need to be one time that it happens. I may only ever need to spank my kid once, because then they know the next time the countdown happens, they're gonna get spanked.
I feel like
maybe
that
it's
changes.
just one time.
I
Maybe
feel like
it's
that
just one time.
changes so drastically when you lay the crack and they bawl their eyes out. I feel like that ends for you just emotionally. I can't imagine. I can't fucking imagine.
Did your mom ever tell you?
I can't imagine that.
Because my parents used to tell me, it hurts me more than it hurts you. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yo,
it hurts me a lot.
But that's true. I think it's true.
I think that's true. As a kid, I was like, bullshit. Now that I'm older, fuck no. Like when I see my nieces crying and stuff, even when they get yelled at, like I feel bad for them. They've never really been hit, not in front of me. There was one time where my sister was lost her temper. She didn't hit my niece or anything, but she was just maybe like fed up and aggressive, and she just kind of like
grabbed her in like a way.
Well, she shoved her onto the couch and was like, oh, and like she walked away, and like my niece just started bawling, and I was furious. It took everything out of me not to body check my sister into the wall. If not worse.
But like, okay, when she threw her, was your niece like whiplash like into the couch kind of thing, or?
No. It wasn't all that bad. Like she was. I mean, I don't want to make it worse than it was, but I also don't want to underplay it. But she was aggressively put down on the couch. Enough that like she was upset about it and she was crying. But and I get it. She was like 2 at the same time, so like it really doesn't take much.
I think that's the worst year too. Yeah, like that's right? The toughest age.
The terrible twos, right?
And 3s. I think it goes into 3s.
Yeah, probably. But
yeah, I think it's so. Okay, so since then,
has
there ever been a scenario like that has
not
played out, or
not that I'm aware.
That's what I think. It only takes maybe one time, and from then you as a child will fear like, oh shit, bro, like I'm not trying to get hit.
Well, I don't know, because like at the same time, and I'm not trying to shit on my sister, and I hope she doesn't mind that I'm fucking putting this out there for the world to hear.
Put me on blast with that.
Yeah, no, but like I told her straight up. I was like, and I've told all my siblings, I was like, yo, you hit any one of my nieces and nephews in front of me, I'm gonna do it back. I don't give a fuck if we're both.
You're gonna hit your niece too? That's fucked, bro.
It's fucking tag team. No siblings for days. Homeboy, you don't know this shit.
Anything you can do, I can do better. He's gonna show her.
No, but I've straight up, I've told all of my siblings, like, you hit your kids. They can't fight back. I can, and I am going to fight for my nieces and nephews every goddamn day.
What would you do if your sister then beat you up as well?
That's why I train. That's exactly why I train, because I can't say shit like that and make up my ass handed to me, so I gotta be able to deliver.
She throws you on the sofa, you're like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, no. I can't let that happen. I absolutely can't. That's exactly why I train. Those exactly.
I think your niece, like, yo, what kind of power does she have?
I think
she's been lifting. I shouldn't have bought those adjustable dumbbells. She's using them.
Stones.
I think something that's super important is consistency with discipline. Like something that I hate is when there's like the lenient parent who's like, it's okay. Like, I want to tell. Like I feel like parents have to be on the same page of that. Like a good cop, bad cop. To me, it's like I get it.
It's gotta
I
be
get
shared.
it. Like
It's gotta be shared. Someone can't always be the bad guy.
Because then there's gonna be the favoritism, right? Because then you'll be like, dad's the fun parent and stuff like that. It's like, yo, I hate the fact that there's a fun parent and a strict parent. It's like, no, like you guys should be a team here. Like
here's where I'm gonna argue with that. On a disciplinary aspect, yes, I agree. You gotta do it as a team. But I do think outside of disciplinary, just as parents, I'm gonna be the fucking fun parent. My kids are gonna think I'm cooler. My kids are gonna know I'm cooler. They'd be like, "Mom's alright. Mom's cool." But
Have
like,
you
yeah,
seen-
dad's the shit, man.
Yeah,
Like,
mom's,
my kids are gonna know that.
Sorry.
Yeah, for your kids, you'll be like, mom's stash is way too big. Dad's is under control.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny. When I did this, my wife to me was like, "Oh, you look so young," and I was like, "Yeah, man. Like when I shave, I look much younger." And she's like, "Yeah, you look so young," and I was like, "Are you jealous?" And she's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Well, then shave." She's like, "You fucking dick." Well, I'm trying to help. What do you want?
Just tell her to grow out her mustache so she can look younger too.
I'm trying to help you. I don't know what the problem is.
Yo,
Okay,
it's
so-
wait, we're gonna do chat. Let's do a quick shot break.
Ooh.
I'll say chat break, but chat's been kind of low key tonight. No problem.
It's a
long
Sunday.
weekend, so.
Everyone's enjoying the long
The,
weekend.
the last chat I want to call out MattFan6969. If you're still watching, appreciate it. He said you guys look like a bunch of Pirates of the Caribbean wannabes.
Yo, I'm the captain. Shoddy.
Jack
I am the
Sparrow?
captain
No
now.
way.
No, I just mean okay. I didn't mean exact character replicas.
But that's what he's saying. Otherwise,
if
you'd
we-
be talking about just pirates. Not
Yeah,
of
but
the
he says
Caribbean.
wannabes. He said wannabes.
My
My
Pirates of the. Okay, is it Pirates
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
no.
Caribbean or Pirates of the Caribbean?
That's always
I
the
think
argument.
Everyone in the movies, I swear they used to say Pirates of the Caribbean. Is that
See,
not what it was called?
I flip flop on the word. Sometimes I'll say Caribbean. Sometimes I'll say Caribbean. I think I use Caribbean as the place. Like this is the Caribbean. Anyone from there is Caribbean.
Caribbean? That's whack. That's
Ah.
fun.
I feel like that's how I say it. I could be wrong.
So I say
I might
Pirates
be
of the
right though,
Caribbean,
because
I've
yeah,
heard
I
that
do
way.
the same thing. Someone's Caribbean. They're not
Yeah.
Caribbean.
Exactly. You are Caribbean from the Caribbean.
That's weird because it's spelled and used
Exactly.
almost the exact same way. So,
Yeah. Absolutely.
but anyways, I actually think I would be the captain because my shirt's cool. My shirt's definitely more piratey than yours.
What is yours? I
You
can't.
look like
Even,
a fucking bowling alley floor.
that's
Mine
sick.
is definitely.
I can't see
look,
what yours is. What is
Mine literally says cruising and boozing.
That
Fuck.
is,
That's
his does
literally
in
what
fact
Nah,
say
are you
that.
kidding me?
Caribbean.
That's some deck swabbling. What? The guy who washes the deck. What the hell is the word?
Swab,
Deck washing,
deck swabber?
swabbing.
Deck swabber?
Swabbing.
No, you don't swab it. He's swash. You swash the
Oh,
deck.
swashbuckler.
Swashbuckler. That's a
Swashbuckler.
swashbuckler. That's a swashbuckler.
Isn't
shirt,
that a
man.
shield?
Maybe.
Swashbuckler is like a shield.
What is Lucas doing? What are you doing?
I'm looking at my shirt, but I look like the guy from Home Improvement.
Yeah, honestly.
The neighbor.
Yeah, no,
Bro,
you're
boozing-
definitely. Nah, man, you're in the
and
crow's nest.
cruising, bro.
You're in the crow's nest, or you're mopping my fucking floor.
You know who I am? I'm the guy who taste tests the food to make sure it's not poison
How about you're just a chef?
for the captain.
No, actually, I don't want that because he's gonna make some stupid shit.
No,
Yeah, I'm gonna have
man.
fucking
He's gonna make,
pierogies.
he's
I'm
gonna
gonna
make
have pierogies
cheese
every night.
pierogies.
Sauerkraut, sauerkraut, bro. We're on a Polish ship.
Arr, authentic Polish pierogies.
Cheese pierogies, dude, and sausages.
I'm down.
Yo,
That
you're
sounds
not
right.
down for sausages? Then
Guys, cheers. This has been fun so far.
Yeah, that's been a good one. I can't wait till we have kids and we come back to this and be like, oh, we're such fucking idiots.
Right, we're really looking from the outside in.
Mhm.
Actually, one of the analogies that Carl told Lucas and I think it was actually fantastic. He said he used the comparison like, you know, when you're out at the cottage, you're out in front of a lake, you're standing on the deck, you look out and you just kind of dip your toes and you say, "Ooh, that's cold." That's getting a pet. And then running in, cannonballing into the lake is having a child. So that comparison, I really like. I don't know how.
shout out to Karl Marx. You really changed
that
my
was
life
sick.
with that quote. I actually
Right? That was good.
I told my parents about that, and they asked me if I was drunk.
He said yes.
Yeah, I was.
You dip your toe in the water with a pet. What about someone who's never had a pet?
Then they've never touched the
They're-
water.
they're just looking at
gonna
a
go
picture.
straight. They're just straight cannonballing.
No, they're looking
Into
at
the
a picture of water.
They're in the cottage looking out the glass, the sliding
Dang,
door. out of the
man,
water.
it looks like they're having fun swimming.
exactly. That's exactly what it is. The
Or it's
person
like,
who-
oh man, they're having a shitty time swimming.
yeah. Is that guy drowning? I think he
Lucas. Oh
drowned.
my god, Lucas is drowning.
Again?
Well, I'm gonna keep having my drink in here. Life is great in here. Hey, you guys want some chips? That's what it is. That's
Oh man.
Since
That's
Shout's
gonna be a couple
quiet.
weeks. That's actually gonna be a couple weeks from now. That's exact. Lucas is gonna be drowning in the lake. Lee is gonna be coming down. Hey, you guys want some chips? We're all like scrambling to get Lucas out of the water.
I'm not gonna offer the chips. I'm gonna keep the chips. I'm gonna watch Lucas
No.
drown from the deck. From the deck. I'm like, oh, this is great.
He's like, oh, it looks like they're having fun
This is
out there.
Oh, while I'm drowning, Lee's gonna be like, you know what?
Wait.
He can use some chips.
Are you, are you insinuating that I'm not out there swimming because I'm colored and I can't swim?
Yes.
No, I'm insinuating that because you went up to get some
No.
food because you're so skinny.
Oh, that's worse.
You need to eat more.
I like the racist comment better, please. Please go with the racist comment. Please. No. Okay, so
I don't think I've ever seen you swim. By the way,
I swim. You've seen me swim.
I've seen you float.
Do you know how many swimming pools we've been to together?
Dude,
How many swimming pools have we been
Lee's-
together?
Someone
Like
that Lee's
two.
build can only float.
I actually can't
He
float.
tries to jump in, he doesn't even break the water density. He just
I swear we're like the same size.
Yo, instead of him
I've just got
instead
more
of-
muscle mass. Oh, that's why
No.
you float, because you're made of fucking Timbits, homeboy.
Yo, instead of Lee swimming,
float.
he
You've never had
actually
cereal.
army
They don't
crawls
float,
on
bro.
top of the water.
You've
Like,
seen
look
me.
at this
You've
one
seen
crawl,
me swim.
dude.
You've seen me swim.
Anyway,
I can swim.
so Beth meme out there.
Yo, no, straight up though. Going back to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
What do you think of the idea of using physical discipline? I don't want to say as a threat. Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. As a threat
No,
to the
because
child for
that's-
not listening.
Because like I had said, if you use it once, then it becomes the fear of the discipline.
Okay. Now,
But I don't necessarily.
it
mean-
almost
I don't
never happens
necessarily-
once. It almost never happens.
I
once.
think
So
I would
let's
say
say
so. I only ever remember time being like actually spanked once, but then every time after that, I was like, yo, I don't want that again. Like that was terrible.
that's fair. Okay, but no, but now that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. Now I'm saying,
So I'm
let's
being like-
say, let's say the kid still pushes your buttons, and there are some parents. There definitely are some parents who say, "Hey, you don't stop doing that, you're gonna get a spanking." You think that's okay?
Yes, because it's gonna be like I know we're gonna go down the same route, and you're gonna defy everything. If you're already at that point where they're intentionally doing it, I think so.
See, there's two
But
sides.
see,
to that
because the
coin.
thing is, like, I don't think, because to Lucas's point of like, more fearing than it is. I don't think I ever feared my parents, even though physical discipline was ever involved.
Well, because you had it once.
I know, but then I was just not fucking stupid about it.
I don't know. I think it's a different mentality of parenting. Like, if some parents see that it worked
I wonder,
once
I
and
wonder,
they
yeah,
use it
I
every
wonder.
time, like for example, my parents saw that it worked once, so they used it every time.
No,
That's
but see, if
different.
they go through the same channel every time, I think that's when it would be. Yeah, because I'm trying to think of the scenario that's presently that I can relate to with my friend and his son, and it's more like it happened once, and since then, I don't think it's ever happened again because of the exact same scenario that I'm kind of referencing.
That's good. I mean, I wish it didn't resort to that in the first place, but that's good that it hasn't happened since, and that's great news. But see, there are two sides to that coin. I feel like saying like, "Oh, like you better listen, or you're gonna get a spanking." The certain aspect that I do respect of that is at least you're giving a warning, and you're saying like, "Look, I don't want to do this, but you're forcing my hand," and you're giving the warning. Okay, but at the same time, you're also consciously admitting like, "I'm done dealing with you. I'm gonna hit you." Like you're now using that as an excuse, and like you're not like that's then become a default disciplinary action that you've chosen, which I think is I think that's weak. I feel like that's just as weak as losing your temper. Like that's another thing that I personally cannot stand is when a parent like doesn't even choose this disciplinary action. They just snap, like the kid annoys them that much and like and slap the kid, and then they're like, "Well, see, I told you," and like. Like, yo, you lost your cool?
That's
Like,
different.
this 2-year-old made you lose your fucking cool. You're weak. Like you don't deserve
Oh
this shit, man.
I see
I
that
can't
all
wait
shit
till
all
you
the
have
time.
kids, man, and then
I don't think I'll do that. I don't think I hit my kids. Like especially out of losing my cool. Like I might lose my cool. 100% I might lose my cool. But I think it will result in
are
yelling
you gonna do
more
this?
than anything.
Punch the wall, bitch. Look at this.
Now patch that shit up, bitch. Tyson!
terrified.
Yeah, exactly. Tyson, get some new drywall.
That's a whole new level of fear. It's like showing what you could do to the kid, but like you want this hole in the wall to be you.
Good work.
Go to bed.
Good work. I just feel like when you lose your cool and you hit your child out of
just straight like
just straight
lack of
rage,
patience.
lack
Yeah,
of patience and rage,
that's fair.
I do not dig that whatsoever.
Yeah, that's
I
fair.
don't think
I
that's
respect that.
beneficial.
I think
I don't
just
think there's anything to come of that.
losing your cool in general to anyone, not even just your kid, just like to a point where you have to hit someone is still kind of.
Yo, did we?
I agree with you.
Did we do a shot at our chat break?
I
Normally
did.
we do.
I did. Did you not?
Did-
Because
did
Lee and I
I?
did.
Yeah, we did. I don't know about you.
You
Who
held
knows?
your
that?
pink Whitney bottle. I didn't see you do anything about it though.
No, I think I shot it then.
Yeah,
I
I
just
don't
don't
think so.
remember,
Can you prove it?
No, I'm not gonna do it by myself. You guys might do
I
it,
knew you
let's do it.
smelled like shit.
Dude, it's. Yo, we should all just hang out after this. Oh, we can't. It's lockdown.
COVID.
But
We're not in stage 1 yet. Cheers. I'll do another one with you. Because it's a long weekend, baby. I don't work, but Lucas does.
I'll still do another one. Who cares? Just I have to be at work. Doesn't mean I have to work.
yo, that's a champion.
Yes, it fucking does. I'm his boss. Yes, it
That's
fucking
that's
does.
a champion associate right there.
No, I'm looking at the cameras tomorrow.
How are you gonna even argue that?
Do you want to see? I could argue.
That is a great. Are you gonna hit him?
Yes.
One, Lucas, get up. 1, 2, 2.5.
Okay. Do we have any other? Okay. Again, we discussed this. We might have to do a parenting round 2 because there's so many topics. We literally only talked about discipline the whole time.
It's a big one. I think it's a huge one.
I think that is a very big one. I
get that all the time, by the way. That's a
wanna
very
talk-
big one.
Yeah, and they're talking about your shirt.
You gotta clip that for the Instagram post. 'Cause that was fantastic. That was beautiful.
This guy tried to bloat his junk size. I had to shut that down.
I
real
was
quick. I didn't-
literally talking about my hunger, and
that's a big one to your hunger.
Yeah, what
Yikes.
does that even fucking mean?
yikes!
How does that translate?
Yeah. What the hell does that even mean, bro?
I have
Oh,
broad shoulders.
you've got a big hunger. Oh my god, your hunger is so
yeah.
big.
So they
that's how
give me a
Filipinos would
Snickers
say it.
bar, bro.
Lucas will be going for like his second round of food. Like, oh my god, he's got such big hunger. Oh my
Oh,
god,
yo,
look
yo,
at his
on-
hunger.
Yo,
on the
leave
real
your
though.
grandparents alone, man. That's fucking rude. Leave your
Yeah,
grandparents alone.
on the real though,
That's
there
what
has-
you
fucking
think that was
rude.
my grandparents.
I know it was. You
Dude,
goddamn.
dude,
you
dude,
do too. You know it was your fucking grandparents.
Quickly speaking of discipline, I have been once threatened at a Mandarin that I got cool it because I was eating a lot. It's not my biggest.
What did he say? He was gonna hate you though, or did he just tell you to cool it?
1, 2. I'm like, just
Lucas is
rush-
like,
rush-
how many
rush.
ribs do you want me to eat? I'm just like,
1, 2. Just trying to beat the 3 there.
Because like every time they came by, I didn't drink my lemon water, and they're like, "Excuse me."
Sorry, Matt. You were gonna say something. What were you gonna say?
yeah. So, I do like the discipline talk. I think we could continue to go on it for a bit. I don't know if we've
for sure.
exhausted all options before you hit me, but there's one that I want to talk about because I think it's a good one, and then maybe we do a parenting 2 V2 episode because I think there's a ton of topics we didn't get to touch on yet. But do you guys feel that parents may try to fulfill dreams that they had for their life through their kids?
100%.
And
Yeah,
are you opposed to that?
depends. I think it depends. I think, for example, something that I saw, and not to get so cute and emotional here, but like my family and we don't really have any like family rituals, and like when I moved in with Matty,
Rituals.
Traditions? Do you mean traditions?
like I rituals, traditions,
Rituals like
sure.
sacrifice everyone at
Rituals
Christmas.
a little-
No, like rituals.
little
Sorry. By rituals, I guess I mean traditions. But like, for example, when I did the Christmas tree in Georgetown, I lived with Matty. Like, they would be like have like these annual memories. They'd get like a free thing. Like, my family never did that shit. It was like we had these same ornaments we've had since I was a kid. I was like, yo, these ornaments suck. They're lame. They're boring. And I started to like try to adopt like what Maddie's family did, which is like, oh, this year, you know, it was a big thing. Like, Maddie got his first car. We made an ornament specifically for Maddie getting his first car. And I was like, yo,
Yeah.
like, for me and my family was just like, we put up ornaments because they look
The
nice.
same ornaments you've had every year.
Yeah, and I'm like,
that
yo,
looks
like,
cool.
like Christmas didn't really mean much other than the fact that you exchange gifts and you eat, not because my family's super Catholic, you don't eat meat. And I'm like, that's lame. Like, first off, I like meat, no homo. And 2, uh, like the ornament thing, I'm like, there's not a tradition linked to this. It's just we're doing things because it's what
a
we
family
do.
thing.
And then I started adopting kind of like a little bit of that where it's like let's change the color based on what we want the tree ornament to look like. So we started buying new ornaments rather than using these 20-year-old ornaments. And like it felt much better. So I'd say like things like that I would like to adopt with my kids where it's like
Like
you know,
traditions,
yeah,
not necessarily like a
Yeah,
dream
that's
of
not-
your life.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
because I'm glad you brought that
I would
up.
say
So
it's the
just-
same thing though. Like you could argue that well, my dream was that I wasn't connected with my family as much. I
Oh,
want to
that's okay.
force that,
That's kinda
not
fair.
force, but
That's kinda
I
fair.
want to have that connection more with my kids, where it's like, okay, well, this is a good stepping stone to that. Where that's where I would say yes. Other things where it's like, saying like, oh, like I never played an instrument. I'm gonna force my kid to play an instrument. No, that's wrong.
So I'm glad you brought that up because just for context, just so you know, Lee, I don't know if you actually know this too, but so what my mom, this actually came from my mom's side, was to Luca's point, every year to this year, and she'll continue to do so. She buys us an ornament reflective of something that happened in the year, and she dates them and whatever.
She
So our
dates
Christmas
ornaments.
tree, yeah, she does.
There's no guy out there, huh?
So our Christmas tree obviously looks very odd because we don't go to the store and buy like a set of ornaments that go on the tree. It's the ornaments we've got over the years that we put on the tree and try to make it look. So obviously it looks a little ridiculous some years because it's like we got fucking random ass ornaments every year. But the first year that we moved out, my mom had given all of the ornaments to us in a box, and she wrote a letter to almost every single one of what that ornament meant to her. And it was obviously very emotional because growing up, you're like, oh, an ornament, like cool, like great. But then it's like looking back now, I can look at what my mom got me as an ornament when I was 7 years old and what it meant to her and what, fucking insane, like fantastic. I'm like, I cannot wait to carry this tradition out with my kids. And I asked her, I'm like, where did you get this from? She's like, I didn't really get it from her. She's like, I just wanted you guys to have something to look back on. And maybe it was because, my parents had, they're separate. They had separated and stuff when we were young. So it was like, I just wanted you to have something to look back on and reflect on. And I was like, yo, that is such a great tradition. I can't wait to carry that out with my kids.
Let me just say, it was super awkward that they were unwrapping all these gifts, getting emotional.
Yeah, we're like crying.
And I was putting up Walmart ornaments, being like, "Where do you guys want this in the top row?" And like they're like reading these letters, and I'm like,
I'm just like
this will
trying
be
to unwrap my
fine.
shit, like wiping tears from my face. But yeah, like looking back, like I'm so grateful that she did that because it's like it's something at the time when I was a kid took for granted, and now I'm just like that was the coolest fucking thing my mom could have ever done.
Yeah, I think that is a fantastic tradition. I think I respect that. That's really cool.
Yeah, you're gonna adopt it and steal it and not even tell her. That's fucked, bro.
Well, yeah, I'll tell her that I'm stealing it, but I'm probably gonna. No, actually, every year, my mom actually does not the same thing. She gets us all an ornament that's just kind of reflective of our personalities. It might not be specific to that year, and there's definitely not a letter that kind of tells us what it.
The letter thing was only because we moved out, but like all the new ones
okay.
we've gotten since don't have letters because we know now. Like we're gonna remember them now. But it was everything from like 1 till I was like 24. Every single one. It was just great.
Yeah,
cool.
we've got something like that too. Like I still have the ornament from my very first Christmas, which I think that's
cool.
a great tradition. Yeah, I love it for sure.
So,
but would you? I think traditions are great. I think traditions should carry on forever. I love traditions.
I mean, it depends. Maybe not all of them.
Depending on the tradition, for sure. That's fair. But I think traditions are great. I don't know that I would classify that the same as
a dream.
Forcing my dreams upon my child.
Yeah. See, Lucas brought a good point though. Like it's like I wanted to stay more closely connected with my immediate family, and that was one way that could be done. Sure, I can see that. But like, just to go back, Lucas, so I'd say, for example, and I think this very much so of Kel, where my dad was a really good hockey player. Kel was very good at hockey as well. I was just not as good. And men's league, I think, is much more there's a lot higher competitive levels, but Kel was very good, and I think that it was always forced upon her to an extent because my dad was trying to fulfill what he thinks he could have potentially had as a career with Kel. And it's like, I don't know about necessarily force it on them, but like an example of this would be with my kid. I want my kid to take up dancing kind of like breakdancing because I love it so much that I wish I could do it. And I know there's the whole thing like, oh, you're never too old to start, but it's like I am literally the least flexible person that exists on the planet, no doubt. Like I can barely touch my toes standing up straight without bending my knees. Like I'm gonna pull my fucking hamstrings trying to do that.
Change that.
So,
Start stretching. Start doing
You
yoga.
can,
know,
you
but
can
it's-
work
but-
on that, yeah.
I could, but it's like I'm already, I'm turning 29, and it would be cool if I could make it a career out of something that I like that. Where it's like if I have the ability to be like, this is something I like, I hope, and again, I'd like to think that they like that, but again, I think a lot of the things that I like or that we like are heavily influenced on what your parents liked
I don't think so.
when you're growing up. No, like
I
a lot of the
disagree.
music and stuff that I like right now is because of the interest in music that, let's say, my dad had. Like there are songs that I listen to now, like Ja Rule, because my dad was such a big Ja Rule fan, and we had such good times that I was like, yo, I fuck with these songs.
That's
You know what I mean?
embarrassing.
What's embarrassing about Ja Rule's living it up?
Joe, just
Okay, the
just
specific
quickly-
song, nothing. What's embarrassing about Ja Rule? 95%.
I
of
said
them.
his music. I was talking about his
I
music.
know. I know.
Just
No,
just,
but
just quickly to touch on that before I pass on to Lee's, like, yo, if I was the same way, dude, I'd be listening to classical music because that's what my mom listens to. So
well, that's what I was gonna say. Is like I think it's a lot of the stuff that I do like was passed on to me from my parents. Like for example, Prince. My mother introduced me to Prince, and Prince is responsible for 80% of my personality. That guy was like my idol growing up.
Oh, that's why you got the mustache.
Not nearly as nice as his. I think there's a big difference between us. Like I don't think you like things because your parents showed them to you. Like I think it's great
A factor,
to share.
like it was an
It's
introduction.
a fact, for sure. Like I think it's great to share things from your time with your children, but whether or not they like it or not, that's entirely up to them. And then to force it on them is a different thing. Like I'll introduce a lot of my shit to my kids, and if they don't like it, they don't like it. That's fine. That's not for you. I'm gonna fucking love it though. Like if I'm cooking dinner and I'm listening to Prince, shut the fuck up. Like I don't care if you don't like it or not.
Are you gonna say that to their face too?
Yeah, at 3 years old, 100%.
Shut the fuck up! I'm trying to listen to Prince.
Listen to Prince. It's Purple Rain, bitch. No, I would never.
It's
I think it in my head.
Yeah, 'cause breakdancing is one for sure that I obviously introduce my kid to, and if they like it, then like let's fucking do it because
So-
I always like to do it, and it's something too that like I would like to do, so that if they start doing it,
It's
I'd be
great,
like it's
yeah.
something that we could do together. You know what I mean?
okay,
I definitely think it's important to do things together. I hope to train martial arts with my kids. If they don't, that's fine. But one thing that'll come up in a lot of conversations about children with me is like let kids be kids. If they don't like it, they don't like it. Leave them alone.
But like, how are you gonna know they don't like it if you don't try to put them in it? Like, would you put
Well,
your
yeah.
kid in like gymnastics,
I introduce them
soccer,
to it.
all
Let them
all
try
that
it.
shit?
Yeah,
All
yeah.
that shit.
I would definitely introduce them to I hope to introduce them to a wide variety of things, and let them, dip their toes into a whole bunch of different bodies of water. And I also don't want to teach them to quit too early. I'll be like, no, you're trying this for a month, no matter what. Even if you don't like it after the second class, you're trying it for a month because you're gonna learn discipline and learn how to push through it. And after a
So
month,
what if? Oh, okay. So what if
then-
they're at
then
an
we-
age that they just keep contesting you? Are you gonna be like, you're going to fucking piano class? I'm gonna count to 3.
Well, honestly, the way I hope to do it is I hope to be doing that for, at a young age and for a relatively long portion of their life. Like basically from 6 to 15, I intend to be doing that. No, you're trying this and you're fucking trying it for a month at least. Like you're gonna push through it and you're gonna get through a month. If you hate it at the end of a month, that's fine. You don't have to do it anymore.
so
Like you're not gonna quit early. Like that's probably the biggest lesson.
So what
I
if they
learned.
actually
Just quit.
are extremely talented in it but hate it?
I don't care. That's fine. That's fine. Even if they're amazing at it and they don't like doing it, that's fine. You don't have to do it.
That's interesting because that was like Kel's scenario. So Kel had probably the talent to make it Olympic level with hockey, but she didn't have the drive because she's like, I just want to do this as an escape. Like I don't want to do this as like a full-time fucking thing. And that's where like from a parent's perspective, I could understand because it's like you see the potentials. Like you could fucking make it. Like you can be like essentially if you're an Olympian, you're like an icon kind of thing. Where it's like you could make it, but and you want to try to push them, but like to your point, you don't want to push them too far where they don't enjoy it. And I think that's what happened. Is that like Kel was like forced to where she's like, I don't want to do it for this reason anymore. Which is why now she coaches and loves it because she gets to do it because she likes to do it, not because it was something that was forced upon her. But yeah, Kel, if she stuck to it, I think she could have definitely made like Olympic level hockey.
So on kind of like the same note, like hobbies, what your kids like. Do you think it's important as a parent to kind of get involved with what your kids like a main hobby? If let's say hypothetically, and I'll ask Lee because he's not on the spectrum. If your kid was a hardcore gamer, do you feel like it's something that you'd want to be like, I want to try to get involved in this, like I want to like learn, or would you be like, you know what, that's kind of for them, that's not really for me, I should take a step back?
I feel like I would try to show interest in things. Like if you want to talk about it, I'm always ears. Am I gonna play with you? Probably not. I'll support you in everything. I won't shut it down. Obviously, I wouldn't. No, honestly, depending on a certain age, I might make fun of you because I think that's important. I think it's important to grow tough skin. For example, if they're 16 in gaming, I'll call them a nerd jokingly, assuming my kid can take it. If my kid can't take it, then whatever.
He's a pussy, bro.
Then it's not my kid. Then it's not my fucking kid. If they can't take it, it's not my kid. But yeah, I'd show support and whatnot, but like to get involved in it, I don't know if that's necessary.
What if you're trying to play with your son and he's like, Dad, you're fucking trash. Like I'm carrying your ass every game. You can't even hold your own. Like I don't even want to play with you anymore.
Again, another reason why I train martial arts. Okay, I suck at this game. Come fight me, bitch. That's what I thought. Pick up your fucking controller again.
Yeah, what you're gonna control do with these fists, baby?
You gonna push some buttons?
So do you guys think it's important to build
all over my computer?
Do you guys think it would be important as a parent to build a hobby with with your kids?
I do think that's important. I think it's important to have one hobby with them for sure. And again, I hope to God mine is martial arts with my kid. If it's not, that's fine. That's fine. I'll do whatever they want. I will pick a hobby with them. But
we will just spit on his screen with his kid.
If they want to do that, I'm down. I did it. It was great.
Yeah, that was good.
Do you still have the price tag on the bottom of your cup, Matty?
Yeah, how much is that cup worth?
Yeah. Winners.
No, it's an NHL authentic goods sticker.
Wow.
I can't even prove that if that's true or not.
I know, right? You can't. Well, what do you think, Matt? Do you think it's important to at least have one hobby in common?
Yeah, and that's where like reflecting on it from my end, like I would play N64 with my dad all the time. We'd play hockey games against each other, we'd race against each other, and it was like always a blast. So I don't know if he did that out of interest because he liked it or if it's because he knew I liked it. But you know, like my dad was really good with that, with like playing a lot of sports with us growing up. But again, I don't know, and I think that's a good thing. Like if I can't tell it was because he liked it or if I liked it, I think the fact that it was something we did together was great. Like I'll never forget growing up, he used to pitch us like a tennis ball and playing baseball. He always said if you could hit the garage across the street, I'll give you $5. And growing up, you know, I'd get close, but I could never do it. And then like years passed, and I was like maybe like 13, and I was like, hey, let's go play baseball. He's like, yeah, if you can do it, yo, tell me how I fucking smoked this bowl, like fucking into like the next.
Smoke this bowl or ball?
Vandalism.
Both. I smoked the bowl, then smoked the ball.
It sounded like you said smoke a bowl, and I was like, what? Maybe don't say.
So I was about to go outside and play baseball, and then I smoked a bowl. But no, and I smoked this fucking tennis ball, the farthest I've ever fucking hit one, and he gave me the $5, and it was great. And
nice.
It was, it was just something we laughed about because it's like it's funny that.
Okay, so what do you do if you share a hobby and well, I mean, maybe it's kind of the same question you had before, but kind of in the same ballpark of them being very talented in something but they're not interested in it, or actually, sorry, maybe it's not. Let's say you guys share a hobby that you are very passionate about and maybe you excel in, and they don't quite get it as well. They're interested in it, but they're not at all at the level you are, or nowhere close, and they don't show signs of ever getting there. What do you think of that?
I think
as long as they're enjoying it. If they're enjoying it, then I'll continue. But I wouldn't beat around the bush where it's like, you're doing great. It's like, listen, we came fucking 64th out of 64th. Like, you got to pick up the slack a little bit, but I'm having a great time with you.
See, I see it very differently. I think it's.
You said that like it saved the conversation, but it didn't.
Yeah, so you came in last place. I mean, for me, something that's very important is that acknowledging where someone's improving rather than just saying, like, "Oh my God, you
Last
did
week
great."
we came 64th.
You
This
did-
week we came 63rd.
No. Rather than saying like you're doing great, it's, "Oh, you've done better in this." Like you tell people where they've improved rather than just saying you did well. Because when you say you've done well, people get cocky. They're like, okay, I'm doing good. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. It's like you have to recognize their weaknesses and where their
Improvement.
strengths are, right? Like you acknowledge your strengths. You're doing better in this, but for next
still
time,
suck.
try improving in this, and you point at their weak points because you want them to get better. Because ultimately, if they're spending time to do it, don't make it all for naught. Make it that they're spending time to improve in it, and that they're learning from it rather than just oh my God, like this is your second time doing it. You're doing so great. They're gonna be like, well, what do I get from that? I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, rather than being like, okay, but improve on this. Like it's like people who play guitar. My brother made this very good analogy where when he learned how to play guitar, he was holding his guitar wrong for the longest time, and someone just said like, oh, you're doing better, rather than just saying improve the way you do this, because he learned bad habits from the start, and no one ever taught him the good habits that he should have started with. Where it's like, dude, you start from the good habits first, and then as you progress, you'll be like, oh my God, I'm so happy I started with these good habits, because now I have, the acknowledgement of, okay, I'm doing this right because I was trained from the get-go to do it correctly, rather than just someone enabling you, right? Like being like, oh, you're doing better because you're learning how to do more things, but you didn't learn your bases right, so now you have to retrain yourself. It's like people who
That's
weightlift.
hard. Retraining from the bases is so fucking
Think
tough.
about weightlifting, right? Like people who go to the gym just to lift heavy weight and they're not doing proper form. Learn your bases first, because they're getting bigger. They're
I learned
someone
that. Yeah,
someone
I
could be
learned
like, "Oh my God,
exactly
dude,
that.
you're looking so good right now. You're doing so well." It's like, yeah, but like maybe you should restart because certain things you're doing wrong, and you never point out the error or the weaknesses they have. It's like start doing that to encourage proper growth rather than just quick, fast results.
Kind of where I see maybe the opposite on it is like, for example, with me specifically, like my dream is to become a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu coach and have my own place. Now, let's say I do that and I have a child. If just for the sake of the argument, let's say my son is not the best.
But
in
your
class.
daughter can be.
That's why I said for the sake of the argument. God damn it, Matt.
Apollo,
We're gonna
right?
challenge you, bro.
God. Okay, so let's say my child isn't at the top of the class, nor are they anywhere near it.
Right.
To me, I don't care. Assuming they're interested in it, as long as they're having fun and they're having a great time, I don't care. I don't care if you're the best or not. As long as you're showing growth over time and you're not stagnant, as long as you're showing interest, that's great. I'm happy for that. I think the real pressure comes onto the kid. Now the kid has to go with, oh fuck, you're coach's son and you're not the best. Like,
Yeah,
what's going on there, right?
Yeah,
like I
being
feel like
the
it's in the
that's
kid.
different. I think
Pressure's
that's
on the
really
kid,
tough.
not on me.
Yeah. Especially
And, well,
if you're involved in the
indirectly on
coaching.
me.
If you're involved in the coach, because like my dad was always a coach on like Kel's teams growing up, so I could totally see what you're talking about with that.
It's almost like a
right?
namesake, right? It's like, oh, you were named after this person, but you're not even comparable. It's
do people be like, oh, he's only here because he's the coach's son? You know what I mean? Like shit like that.
For sure.
Yeah.
And again, to me, that doesn't matter at all. I don't care if my children suck at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If they're interested in it, fantastic. They have a great time. I don't care. I don't care if they're the worst. Well, hopefully not the worst in the class, but hopefully.
I mean,
if they're not the best,
So my son
is
Dexter is gonna kick fucking Tyson's ass in BJJ, bro. I'll make sure.
Wait, whoa. If you're going to make sure, then he's not going to.
Yeah, if anything, Athena
seen
will
my
win
jiu-jitsu?
the whole tournament, so it's all good.
Did you say, have I seen your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Matt?
No, I said, have you seen my BJJ?
Oh, I haven't. No, I spat on my computer again. I'm cut off. I'm done. I'm out of here.
Yeah, so actually, before we're coming up 9, it's already 9:26. This episode flew by. We're gonna have to do a parenting V2 because we have so many other things we want to talk about.
We barely scratched the surface.
Yeah.
So before we get into what next week's going to be and when we do parenting V2, because I think we should do it soon, because I would love to come back to these.
We do have a guest for next week, hopefully.
No, I said before we get into the guest part. Let me finish my point about this.
No, fuck you, Matt. Lucas wants to talk.
So we have a guest hopefully for next week. Fuck Matty Aquino. And without involving Walter in this, we have a guest next week, right? So
All right. The joke went on. Go on, Matt.
So I think an important part that kind of Lucas had touched on is, so this, I don't normally like Reddit life pro tips, that subreddit. I'm not a usually big fan. I follow it because it's interesting to see what some of them say. But one that I have seen recently, and I think directly relates to people who have kids at a young age, is I read one that said, instead of saying, I'm proud of you for what you've done, or just saying, I'm so proud of you, they suggested saying, you should be proud of yourself. And the reason is that they don't grow up looking to please and make others proud of their accomplishments. They're doing it for them. And everyone that I've told this to have from that day been like, I tell my kid all the time, you should be proud of yourself. You did a great job. And I was like, it was like one of the times I was like, that's actually sick. Like I saved it because I want to do it with my kids, because it's a great way to look at life, because it's true. You never think about that, where it's like, oh, I'm so proud of you. And then they grow up trying to do things that will please
people they don't know.
Please the people that are, like their parents or their bosses, where instead it's like, do something or do things that you're proud to accomplish. And I think that's something that if you can start that at a young age, may drastically change how they develop as kids. Because it's like, you got good grades, you should be proud of yourself. I'm proud of you too, but you should be proud of what you accomplished. It's not for me.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Is I think I 100% agree with that.
Both. There's got to be both. Like I need you to know that I'm proud of you, but
yes,
you need to be proud of what you've done for you, not for me.
100%. I think that's amazing. Amazing.
That's really good.
And that's one that, like, when I read it, I was like, yo, that is some good shit. And I told people are like,
wow.
And the people I've told this have literally, like, my buddy with his son, has started doing that, being like, Ben, or you should be proud of yourself. You went poo-poo on the potty. You should be proud of yourself.
Yeah. You know what, though? It's because with nowadays culture, and to get a very quick point here, is that so many people want to be part of the social media norm. Like, I have a younger stepsister. She watches TikToks, and she's like, oh my God, these girls are so perfect. I need to be like that. It's like, stop. Like, focus. Like
be
happy with yourself. Are you improving on yourself because you want to, or because you want to impress these people who don't even know you? And it's the same thing with people who buy fancy stuff, right? So
yeah. And Lee, I think this was the topic we talked about when we were talking about comparing your accomplishments, your progression, let's say, as like an artist in comparison to someone who's like a famous artist. It's like, oh, my work is nowhere near theirs. But it's like, if you compare it to your own results, like, you've progressed. Like, that's something you should be proud of. And I think that Lucas, in that exact scenario, that's a great point. It's like, again, with the impact and power that social media carries nowadays, it's something that I think needs to be instilled on the young folk earlier, so it's not something that down the road they're struggling with. Like, I'm trying to please everyone. It's like, just do things that make you happy and that you're proud of, so you're not in this constant battle of like, oh, well, they're not gonna fucking like it. It's like, who the fuck cares?
If you have to delete music off your playlist because you're worried about how someone else is gonna hear that music and judge you for it, you're already in the wrong place.
Sad. That's sad.
Listen to what you want to listen to.
Yeah, and the friend group you have that judge you for your music, fuck
not
those
your friends.
people. No, they're not your friends.
I mean, it's ironic that Lee and Matty judge me for my music all the time. So, but I don't delete music for it.
Yeah, you have shitty music taste. That's not my fault.
Also, I'm not your friend. So I don't.
Yeah, you should
relevant.
not be proud of yourself because your music tastes sucks.
Here we go. Here we go. We're contradicting everything we just talked about for the past 30 seconds.
I'll hit Lucas.
Where?
My daddy knows.
You know where I got the most fat tissue? Don't say my belly. I said my butt. My butt. Before anyone else beats me to it. Literally, my mom will beat me. So.
Don't say my belly is what he said.
But
wow.
Sorry, we're at 9:30. We don't want to keep you guys too much longer from enjoying a long weekend. But next week, special guest. teacher. We're gonna talk about the education system,
Ooh.
both what like elementary, high school, just our thoughts on it in general.
Yeah.
And that should be an exciting episode. Lots of
Scott,
fun.
I feel like if there's any takeaway from today, it's that we don't know what the fuck we're gonna do as parents. We're acting like we do. We don't fucking know. Does anyone?
We'll probably do a V2. Like I think we should do a V2 because
Honestly, with this
we have a
segment,
list
might
of
reach a
topics. I think we
V5.
literally touched on 2 of them, and we had probably like 9.
Yeah.
And we only really talked about 2. And I think it would be great to be able to talk about down the road. And then our kids, you know what's even funnier is that they're one day, obviously because of the way the internet works, our kids are one day going to watch us and be like, "Look, Dad, you said you would never hit me."
Dad, you beat me all the time.
He's locked in the cupboard.
Well, guess what? I had my fingers crossed the whole time.
He's like, "Dad, now I spit everywhere and it's all your fault. You spit on the webcam every time."
This is your fault.
There's a hobby that
Everyone
you guys
makes
took
fun of me
together.
for spitting.
Was this your dream? Was this your dream?
It's genetic.
Thank you, everyone. It's been a pleasure.
Guys, enjoy your long weekend.
Have a great
we'll
long
catch
weekend.
you guys next Sunday.
Everyone-
Education.
Enjoy your day off tomorrow. Lucas, have a great time at work.
Thanks, guys.
Correct.
Appreciate
guys.
it. Take care, everyone. See you.
Peace.